Welcome back to the Pinchy Canal. But what's up, man? Today I'm gonna be getting a lot of off topic. I'm not gonna really talk about what I usually talk about, but I'm gonna talk about how I got into what I usually talk about. The thing about me, I was born in California. I grew up in a Christian family, but we weren't the good thing about my parents is that my parents never forced the religion onto me. The only thing they forced the only thing they forced onto to me was the belief. And that's honestly really different than the religion itself. What it takes one to know one. And honestly, like, everyone believes in a religion, but not anyone has a religion. You know what I mean? It's just how I see it nowadays. But thanks to the help of my parents putting me on to the belief, and to this Western civilization social institution of everyone who else believes it. Not thank God, but obviously, like, you can thank their parents, and you can thank their parents, and their parents, and it goes on forever. But the thing about me is I always believed in God simply because I live in America. It's just how it is. Everyone believes in God. And it takes balls, fool, to question it, to even be like, is he even real? Because the thing about most religious people nowadays, and I've said this in both my videos before, but dude, no one believes the religion from faith. Everyone does it to save their own ass in the end, and that's just the truth. Because if they weren't out for themselves, they wouldn't have the religion, because they wouldn't need it. You see, it's just like that. And that's why I myself personally go to Eastern philosophies. And I don't call them religions because, like I said in the other videos, they're not religions because they don't tell you to believe in anything at all. What they give you is methods for the transformation of consciousness. Do you want to transform your consciousness? Well, here's the method. There's the Hindu method, there's the Buddhist method, the Buddha Dharma. Dharma means, like method. And then there's the Taoist, But I'm going to explain the differences. Hinduism, it's beautiful. It really is, because, like, the way they don't believe. What they go off is experience, and experience only, and that's how they come to know what they know of it. Because they themselves experienced it, and they went through the experience, and therefore know that it's real. They don't have to believe in it, because if you have to believe in God, that's a lack of faith. It really is, because the fact that you have to believe just shows that you don't believe it. Because if you have to believe, then there's just deep down in the back of your mind, you have a thought, and that's called a Hintergedanke in German. And it's a thought way back in your mind when you know that you have that doubt. Maybe this isn't real after all, and that's true. But the thing about it is that it takes one to bring that Hintergedanke out to the open and challenge it in the way of searching, going on the quest for truth. And the great thing for that is just going to those Eastern philosophies. But you have to understand that in Asia, in that part of the world, they don't believe in God like that. That idea is completely foreign to them. Our God is a white man with whiskers. You have to understand that. That's who he is. It's simple. It's food. Everyone knows that. It's a white guy with fucking whiskers, dude. The fucking white beard in the sky. With legions of angels and the golden throne of heaven. It's like, even that, just the description of it. Even if there were a heaven, why is it a golden throne? Like, does God really have to blinged out? Is it iced out too? You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. It's ridiculous. Like, the way they put materialistic things onto a God that supposedly you can't understand, but yet he's a man with whiskers. You know what I mean? The Hindus say that their God is non-dual, which means it is not this, it is not that, it's not this or the other. It's not, you can't put your finger on it. In other words, it's like they say it's non-dual because it's not one, because one excludes none, and it's not everything because everything excludes nothing. Therefore, it's non-dual because it's everything and nothing. You see? But what it is not words. It's an experience. It's a feeling, and it's an understanding. That's what it is. And based on your background, it's how you interpret it. And how you, and depending on your language, how you tell it to others. And I mean language in the sense of not only your what you speak, but in what sense you were raised in, like with under the Bible belt. You know what I mean? Whatever. That's the way, you talk to your peers, because you have to talk in a way that they can understand you as well. For example, imagine meeting someone who's never had a glass of water before. And they're like, yeah, I know what water is, but I've never tasted it. How can you explain that taste to them? You can't put it in words no matter how much you tried or how much you really wanted to. The only way they can find out is for themselves. And that itself is an experience. The experience of drinking water. Oh, it's delicious, Or it doesn't taste like nothing. But then they know. And it only took what? Seconds? Not even seconds. It took the moment of experience, which lives on here and now, because that's the only moment there ever is. Time doesn't exist in the real world. You have to understand that. Mankind just created time. You have to see time in the sense of like measurement, of intervals, in the same way that we measure money with wealth. Although I believe that we completely got confused, because money can't buy happiness. And it doesn't take being rich to know that. You can know that when you're still here, and you can live a good life by accepting it. And then when you accept it, you don't need all that cash. For what? You deep down, you want it for the status. It's not even because you really want it, Or unless you're fucking like, you just want everything, You're like a little spoiled brat or some shit, You want to spoil yourself. Like, the fact that you need all these things to feel secure of yourself is ridiculous. Because what I believe is that everything you could ever want, ever need, is here and now. All you have to do is accept it for yourself. And then that's where true happiness lays, you see? And that's the whole point of everything, all these like Eastern philosophies, it's just like, it's here, it's now. Now accept it. Here, like Buddhists, like Nirvana is here. But in Buddhism, they have like separate schools of Buddhism. One school of Buddhism with the Mahayana, which is the one I prefer simply because of my personal way of thinking, They believe that, well, let me tell you what the others believe. They're called I forgot what they're called, but they're pretty much, it translates to the way of the elders. And what they believe is in like harsh not punishments, but like you have to like strain your water so you won't eat any bugs, you can't kill nothing, you can't enjoy your food, you can't do this and that. And eventually you will reach the state of total let go, and you will lose desires, and then you'll be in a state of nirvana, and that would be your complete disappearance from the whole material world and all. And the Mahayana Buddhists say, no. That's the wrong one. Oh, by the way, and if you do that, you become a Patrika Buddha. And that means a Buddha that goes and is never seen again. But the Mahayana Buddhists think that by that decision, they made a mistake. Because the Mahayana Buddhists, they believe in something that's called a Bodhisattva. And a Bodhisattva is someone that has been on the path, that has seen the way, been on the way, and has come back to show you how to do it too. To let you on the secret, Because nirvana is in this place of ecstasy, because nirvana is here. It's here now. And all you have to do is accept it. But there's the multiple ways of doing that, But it's just like, it's amazing. It really is. And Buddhism is just like Hinduism stripped for export. They got their ways of thinking and all that, and I think, shit like that, perceiving from Hinduism. It's like Hinduism, like, like reformed, because you can't be a Hindu unless you live in India. That's the thing about it, But you can be a Buddhist anywhere in the world. You can be a Buddhist anywhere in the universe. Because you have to understand that if there's a Buddha here, there's Buddhas everywhere. Not just here. Here is just a planet of humans. There's plenty of things out there that you can't even begin to imagine. And they're more advanced than us. Of course they are. I have people who believe in God, and they'll ask me, so do you really think that there's life out there? It's like, the way I do this, I don't answer like, duh, I tell them like, what do you think? And they'll be like, well, yeah, because that's my way of teaching. My way of teaching is I make you answer your questions for yourself. because that's what I had to do. I didn't go around asking, what's this, what's that, because I knew no one can answer these questions for me. I had to learn for myself from experience, and that's exactly what I did, and that's exactly what I'm gonna make you do, because that's the only way to do it. And that's and if you ever hear someone say that, they're not lying to you. Anyone else that would tell you different, it would be like, because I told you everything you need, everything you want is right here now, and you just have to see it. If I were someone to tell you like, oh yeah, I could tell you, I know how to do it, fool, but you gotta do this, and that. I would be like someone who pickpocketed your watch and sold it back to you, dude. You know, and I'm not like that. I really not. I don't ask for money. I just ask for your attention and for your experience and your willingness to find out the truth. It depending on how bad you want it. Some people just live on, and they die. But I bet you all those people that really do die, they die miserably. They don't rest in peace simply because they don't let go. Because I believe that death is a beautiful experience, because that's the experience, that's the opportunity to finally let go and just be gone. I'm gonna handle this shit. Hold on. But and I don't believe that dying is a bad thing. I believe that dying is just as natural as birth. It's not a disease. It happens. So you have to accept it. It's nothing wrong. And I believe that dying is an art. And there's many ways of dying. You can die however you want. You can die like this if you want. You could listen to music. You could take some LSD. You could get high as fuck before you die. You could do whatever you want as long as you let go and you're happy and you accept it. Then death isn't a bad thing. It becomes a beautiful experience. That's the thing, and that's the way I see death, But our religions nowadays, this is the way they do it, and this is the way they put you on. You see, because they tell you like, "Ooh, I can scare you with death," And at first they'll talk about the hells and all the things that happen to all these bad people, So it builds up a sense of anxiety in oneself to the point where it's damn. And then after that they bring on, but the good, And that's when people grow for that, because after that, that's when you need something to hang on to, because you become afraid because of what this man's telling you, So it's like, I don't know. It's just like, and it's crazy because people don't think for themselves nowadays, so they don't think is this fool lying to me? Like I said in my last video, the whole reason of being just knowledgeable and knowing is that you know the truth, and you know if someone's lying to you to your face, even if it's a pastor, even if it's a priest, even some religious fanatic, like you can tell if someone knows just by the way they look at you and their language. And I do it in Zen, and I love Zen is just my thing, I love it. It's amazing, and there's plenty of ways of I'm gonna tell you a Zen story, and it's like this. There was a master, I forgot his name, but there was a famous Zen master, and he was at a tea party, and there was this woman that was serving the tea, and he seen that she had such an elegant way of doing it that he had thought that she had some Zen training, so she was gonna test her out. So she called her over here, and he said, "I have a present for you," and she said yes. And then he got some hot coals with chopsticks and gave it to her like that. And what she did is she wrapped her arms around her kimono, and then she took the coal and she went in the other room, she tossed it out, and then she came back all with her things torn, her kimono all torn and burned. And she said, "Now I have a present for you." And he said, "Oh, I would be delighted, And then she handed him the hot coals, and at that moment he took out a cigarette, and he said, "That's just what I wanted." It's like Zen is a beautiful thing, and it takes one to know one. That's the beautiful thing about it. If you know, then you can tell anyone else that knows just by that one story I told you. A lot of you may not see anything in that, and that's simply because of your way of thinking, your way of perceiving, and it's so obvious that you can't see it, But it's I don't know, it's cool. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I
I didn't finish off a bunch of things I was talking about. Like I kept jumping to this and that and this and that because I don't climb straight, homie. You know, I climb from here and then I go on here and then I come over there. I get off topic a lot. I don't know. Just want to be getting freaking high. But I'm about to end this shit. But I'm about to post a video later of some big news that I'm really excited. You know, I've been excited, but like I'm really happy and really grateful for it. And you guys will find out about that in a bit.